Hopefully this could be the last post I have to make to try and get it through your heads that Trump is not racist and he condemned racism a long time ago. You understand me? In 1991, yes, even my son know that's the truth. You understand me? 1991, he condemned it. He condemned David Duke. He condemned him in 2000 for the RNC thing when he cut it off. He called him a racist and a bigot and all this other stuff.
Did the David Duke thing bother you? 55% of the whites in Louisiana voted for him. 400 New Yorkers contributed.
I hate seeing what it represents, but I guess it just shows there's a lot of hostility in this country. There's a tremendous amount of hostility in the United States.
Anger.
It's anger. I mean, that's an anger vote. People are angry about what's happened. People are angry about the jobs. If you look at Louisiana, they're really
about the David Duke quasi-endorsement.
I don't know the answer to the first. Who knows why? But I don't need his endorsement. I certainly wouldn't want his endorsement.
How do you feel about the recent endorsement from David Duke?
I didn't even know he endorsed me. David Duke endorsed me? Okay. All right. I disavow, okay?
Yeah, David Duke and all were disavowed. I disavowed him on Friday. I disavowed him right after that because I thought if there was any question, and you take a look at Twitter, almost immediately after on Twitter and Facebook, they were disavowed again. I disavowed him every time I speak to somebody virtually. There's nobody that's done so much for equality as I have. You take a look at Palm Beach, Florida. I built the Mar-a-Lago Club, totally open to everybody.
We condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence. It has no place in America. And as I have said many times before, no matter the color of our skin, we all live under the same laws. We all salute the same great flag. And we are all made by the same Almighty God. We must love each other, show affection for each other, and unite together in condemnation of hatred, bigotry, and violence. We must rediscover the bonds of love and loyalty that bring us together as Americans. Racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists.
I think today that a well-educated black person, male or female, has a tremendous advantage over a well-educated white person. And I felt that for a long time. And I hope that anybody in the audience that's black and is watching can hear me say this. And I'm talking now as a person that employs thousands and thousands of people. A well-educated black has a tremendous advantage over a well-educated white in terms of the job market. And I think sometimes a black may think that they don't really have the advantage or this or that, but in actuality, today, currently, it's a great, I've said on occasion, even about myself, if I was starting off today, I would love to be a well-educated black because I really believe they do have an actual advantage today.
Trump sabotaged David Duke's campaigns every time, you know what I'm saying, he ran. He sabotaged it. Trump's name is important. So if Trump says he hates seeing what your name represents, you know what I'm saying? If Trump calls you a racist and a bigot and he turns down the RNC in 2000 because, you know what I'm saying, like you're involved in it, he's assassinating this man's character. But in this case, it's a righteous kill because he represents hate. You understand me? And Trump exposed that, and he said that. So you don't think a man like that want payback? You don't think he want payback? If somebody sabotaged every campaign you had, you understand me? Are you gonna really endorse their campaign? You already know your name represents hate. Like no known racist Klansman or whatever, racist whatever is going to win. Have some rice and beans. Goddamn, it's going to win presidency. You understand me? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It'll never happen. It'll never get the majority vote or whatever the case may be. But he wants some get back. And he had his payback just by him fake endorsing him and putting this out on. He had a podcast, and this is what alerted all the white supremacists to go and basically support Trump. This is what did it.
In office anymore than we want a Republican in office. But let me tell you something: the Republican establishment is your enemy. They are an enemy to your heritage and your values and the things that you care about in the future of your children. And that includes Cruz and it includes Rubio. Be really straight and clear on this. If there's nothing else I can get over to you today, be clear on that. Also, be clear that voting for these people, voting against Donald Trump at this point, is really treason to your heritage. Now, I'm not saying I endorse everything about Trump. In fact, I haven't formally endorsed him, but I do support his candidacy, and I support voting for him as a strategic action. I hope he does everything we hope he will do. I don't know if he will or not, but we know his candidacy is an insurgency that is waking up millions of Americans. And I'm telling you that it's your job now to get active.
Now, this is where he manipulates white supremacy and also America, because everyone is listening. So this solidifies it. Oh shit, Trump is racist. David Duke is calling out the whole nation, you know what I'm saying, to go support Trump. Listen.
Get off your duff. Get off your rear end that's getting fatter and fatter for many of you every day on your, from your chairs. When this show's over, go out, call the Republican Party, but call Donald Trump's headquarters, volunteer. They're screaming for volunteers. Go in there. You're going to meet people who have the same kind of mindset that you have. Educate them. If you're around evangelicals, explain to them that supporting the Jewish power structure in this country and the Jewish control of the American government and the Jewish control of the Republican Party and the Jewish control of American media is absolutely like supporting the enemies of Jesus Christ. It's so easy for you to prove this.
So he's basically still manipulating his people, right? The white supremacists. And he's telling them, Trump is against the Jews, he's against Israel, etc., this, that, and the third, whatever the case may be. Meanwhile, you have some people that think that Trump is controlled by Zionists, or whatever the case may be, this, that, and the third. I'll let you guys be the judge at the end of the day. But you got to pay attention to this. Why is David Duke, of all people, going so hard to support Donald Trump, saying his name clear, loud as day? Why is he going so hard for Donald Trump? And this was 2016, 2015. Why? Why are you going so hard for someone who who condemned you? What's that? 25 years before that. Over 20 years. It's been over 20 years, that Donald Trump has condemned David Duke. And he's going so hard to support him. He's trying to sabotage his campaign. He's trying to sabotage his campaign. You understand me? He definitely had it in with the DNC. He already said that the Republican Party is against their heritage and, this, that, and the third. And you know why? Because the Republican Party was the party that allowed Negroes in their party. You had the Negro Republican Party. You understand me? And David Duke was just another white supremacist who infiltrated the RNC. Pay attention. President Donald J. Trump brokers a historic peace agreement between Israel and Sudan. Come on, man. Come on, man. Today, Israel and Sudan have agreed to make peace and to normalize their relations in another landmark agreement brokered by President Trump. David Duke was saying otherwise. But listen, after decades living under a brutal Islamist dictatorship that supported terrorism, the people of Sudan are in charge and democracy is taking root. President Trump has something to do with peace in the Middle East. Tupac said, bring peace to the Middle East. This isn't what David Duke was rooting for to his people. But check this out, man. Since taking office, President Trump has worked to rebuild trust with our regional partners and identify their shared interests, moving them away from the conflicts of the past. Wow. Thanks to President Trump's leadership, the Middle East and Africa are experiencing the most rapid geopolitical transformation in over a generation. Wow. As more countries normalize relations with Israel, the region will become more stable and secure and prosperous. Wow. Bring peace to the Middle East. The United States will continue to stand with the people of the region as they work to build a brighter, more hopeful future. Wow. This is what, Trump is doing.
Even Ted Cruz came out and talked to Middle Easterner Christians, right? Who are being murdered by Israel, who are being killed, right? Massacred. These are Christian families. And he says to them, well, yeah, but if you stand against Israel, you stand against us. Israel's killing Christians, folks. This is an anti-Christian state of Israel. And when you go to these meetings and when you go into the Trump campaign, you're going to run into a lot of evangelicals, and you can continue this evolution of thought and action. This is a great day, folks. And let's make Super Tuesday a great day. You've got a responsibility here. Get active. Join this campaign. I know people in this cause over the years who literally have joined Republican Party groups and joined different campaigns like my campaigns, and they came in contact with great friends, and that's how you need to make friends. You need to make friends of people who are like minded, and I believe people who listen to this program and listen to me and read my books and understand what I'm saying. And if you haven't read My Awakening, for God's sakes, read it, and you'll understand what's really happening in this world. That the reason we're having immigration, the reason we have this radical feminism, the reason we have this incredible destruction of both Europe and America is because we have an alien race and alien people who have taken over our countries, taken over our media, taking over our banking. And only Donald Trump, of any Republican, has spoken up against Wall Street and the big Jewish banks like Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs, no, he's given lip service to Israel. But Goldman Sachs is like saying Goldman Jews.
So I just showed you what I told you. Basically. Everything he's saying about Trump is the total opposite. It was all a manipulation. It was all to get people thinking, oh, Trump is a racist. The only reason why we call Trump a racist is because of this man here. And part of, the whole scheme against Trump. But using known Klansmen, you understand me, to fake endorse Trump will turn the black people away, and even white people who despise racism because it's disgusting, right? It just turns people away like, oh, word, damn. Whatever the case may be. And now you got certain people that he said, you're sitting on your fat, lazy butt while it's getting fat. You know what I'm saying? Basically calling out all the fat motherfuckers who ain't doing nothing. Basically saying you ain't doing nothing, you ain't got no job, you ain't got no career, you a bum ass motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And that's why if you do get some racist rant shit, you really gotta look at the people that display this racism. They don't even look sane. So it's like, you don't really hate me, you hate yourself. You hate yourself so much that you gotta tell me you hate me, and maybe I'm a nigger. You understand me? Just so you don't gotta think about hating yourself so much. Just so you don't gotta think about hating yourself so much, you gotta think about hating me. It probably makes you feel a little better. Cause it's stupid to just hate someone because of their color. It's really dumb. Like, come on, man. It's dumb. It's the dumbest shit you could do. And the people that go on these rages, they look psychotic. They look psychotic. Come on, I ain't taking you serious anyway. You try to harm me, yes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not gonna sleep on you, but I'm not gonna let it, have an effect on my life and make it have an effect on the fucking world, because some psychotic motherfucker going viral. It's probably a crisis actor too. A lot of the times these days, you know, you gotta be woke. And shit, that phrase is washed up. It don't mean nothing. But anyway, back to the manipulation. But understand this. This is the reason why you guys think Trump is a racist. You've never seen him do anything racist. You just have this, and then you have these racist white people who got manipulated. But you know what's the crazy shit? They're not that dumb. They're not that dumb. You know why? A lot of them woke up and seen, think we got played. Oh, Trump ain't for us. Whatever. But at the end of the day, he's for Americans, and he's gonna work for the people. It don't matter what you are, what you do, who you like and who you don't like. It's gonna benefit everybody. Everybody gonna eat. If there's a supermarket in a motherfucking town, everybody gonna shop there. If there's a Walmart, everybody gonna go there. It don't matter racism. You know what I'm saying? Wake up.
You know, it's like Goldman Sachs, two Jewish names. It's really saying what I'm saying, what Don Black is saying, and so many others are saying without saying the J word. Understand that. And when you get involved in politics, you're going to meet a lot of great people. You're also going to meet a lot of beautiful, if you're a young male, you can meet a lot of beautiful, intelligent young women. In fact, I wouldn't even be against you sometimes going to young Democrat groups. There's usually a lot of hot women there because they think it's fashionable. But if you go walk in there as a European American young male, you can be joining a young Democrat group and a young Republican group at the same time, because you're in there as an insurgent. You're in there is to turn people around. And it's amazing how many Democrats are coming over. And here are these groups here. I'm talking to young males now for a second, as I'm talking to young females too, that, you know, go into these young groups and young Republicans and help educate some of those men if you're available and you know the story. But imagine now you're a young male and you're an alpha male. You work out, you're strong, you act manly. You know, you talk about some of the issues. You can start talking about the banks, which will resonate with Democrats. You can talk about these insane wars. You can talk about the Jewish extremists that control Hillary and Sanders, how he's nothing more than a Jewish extremist himself who was in a kibbutz in Israel and supports Israel and the Jewish control over this media and over this country. He's a communist, for God's sakes. But go into these groups. On a one-to-one, you could talk to people, and you know, it's kind of a big advantage for you, isn't it, to be maybe the only manly male, European male in the group, compared to all these beta males, you know, and these homosexuals that are going to be in these Democratic groups. You see, that's the attitude. See, a lot of people don't understand what to do. I've heard this for years. People tend to abandon the fight. For instance, if they go to a church and the church is preaching something like, you know, pro-Israel, or they're preaching something about pro-immigration or something, they leave the church. They shouldn't leave it, folks. They should take it over. They should be in there in Sunday school and challenge these people and point out the truth that immigration, massive immigration, is actually the destruction.
So David Duke's energy towards Israel was and is conflict. Donald Trump's energy towards Israel is solution. Amongst all the nations in the Middle East, that's what he's working on and he's building. The opposite of everything he just said. You know what I'm saying? One thing I can say is that's a man with a plan. That's a man with a plan. You know what I'm saying? Black Klansman, that movie, that black Klansman movie had David Duke. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I'm looking goofy or anything like that. You know, it was comedy songs. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. It's down the third. Because at the end of the day, listen, the dude got everybody thinking Trump is a racist. Like that. He ain't that. He ain't as dumb. He ain't as dumb as Spike Lee portrayed him to be. He ain't as dumb. That's a man with a plan. You dig? But I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? I believe in peace and love, man. Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love. You dig? Defend yourself by all means. You understand me? Protect your life. Protect your family. But peace and love. Peace and love. Bless white, black, everybody, man. When the aliens come through, what's up, man? Y'all smoke? You drink? Hey, want a cigar? What? What's good, man? Peace and love.